All right, so if you follow any of this, a little while back, I pulled the muffler out of the van, trying to control EGT a little better, get a little bit more power out of it. Anyways, when I did that, it made the resonance of the exhaust in here almost unbearable, over like 70 miles an hour. So I got to do something about that. So I'm going to take out all this paneling and put some sound deadening in. This thing's not even that loud, which is crazy, but being that big echo chamber, it's just bad in there to where I can't hear my stereo. I really like to hear my music. It's been raining like crazy back home. Of course, I got the van stuck as soon as I backed it in. Yeah, see, it's not even loud. But anyways, gonna get disconnected here, hopefully get unstuck, and then start pulling all that stuff out. I got a bunch of sound deadening left over from when I did, I guess that truck's out front. When I did my 12 valve, I did the floor and the back wall and that. I got a little left over, and then I ordered up some more. But anyways, I'm gonna get all my stuff out of here and get to work on that before I have to hit the road tomorrow morning. I've done almost 10,000 miles in the last 4 weeks, and the sound's just kind of driving me crazy. I'd like to be able to hear the stereo better. When people try to call me on the Bluetooth, when it goes through the speakers, I can't really hear, so it's just not working out. But yeah, I'm gonna do the sound deadening, and then here's the stock muffler. I might try and weld that back in. Shouldn't be too difficult. It won't be fun, but first off, I'm gonna do the sound deadening because that'll be cool to have either way. Even when I'm like sleeping in the van at truck stops and whatnot, help keep noise levels down in there. But yeah, so that's next quick project, because I'm getting ready to head to New York and then down to Texas, and then somewhere up to Chicago. So I got a bunch of miles ahead of me, and I really want to take care of this before I hit the road again. Got to fix a light back here too. So a lot of things to do today before I have to get back on the road. All right, got to get the rest of this stuff yoinked out of here. You can pull this paneling off. Get this rubber mat down. That thing should do a lot of sound deadening on its own, but I'm gonna pull that up too. It's just bare floor under there, and then start applying some more there. But I'm gonna do the ceiling and walls and these doors first, just to make sure I have enough, and then if I do, then I'll start doing the floors. But I gotta get everything unbolted. This stuff should come out quick. There's a few screws holding it in. But yeah, gonna have to get the power washer out too. Made a mess getting this thing unstuck. Trailer's covered in it too, of course, so. But yeah. All right, well, I was hoping to kind of speed run this and rip all the screws out I could see and then slide it up over the heater and the battery. But it seems as if there's probably a few screws back behind there, so all that stuff is gonna have to come out. Other than that, this side should be a breeze, and hopefully there's no screws back behind the headliner. It's just tucked back in there, hopefully. But it looks like it's definitely, damn, it looks like those probably captured it too. So anyways, I just hate taking off stuff like that, because normally it snaps them and then they're no good, and I don't have spares. But yeah, once this paneling is out, this should go quick. Just start slapping this stuff in. All right, all this came out pretty quickly. The headliner was not captured up there by the front headliner, so that was cool. Slid right out. Got to clean all this up a little bit. It's a little crusty and dusty. Wipe it down and then start jamming on applying this stuff. It's beautiful out right now, but there is a lot of rain coming. It seems like I'm always racing rain since I can't really fit the trucks and vans in the shop too well to work on them. So I am on a race against time today again, but I've got a few hours, so I think we should be good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to weld the muffler back in place before it rains, but I should be able to. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the delete pipe that I put in there. And unfortunately, it's just a little crazy drony loud in here, but at least I'll get the sound deadening done that needs done either way. All right, so I have a little kill mat left, and then the thicker foam stuff that's actually thinner than what I thought I ordered. And this is some leftover, a little bit thicker foam from when I did the other truck anyways. Now I'm gonna start putting the kill mat on first on the bigger flat panels just to kind of weigh it down. I think that helps with kind of like resonance vibration, or just vibration. I don't really know. I don't know much about this stuff, but I know it worked really well in the 12 valve truck, and I laid a lot of the kill mat down throughout everything, and then I put the thicker foam stuff on top of that. But I think in that truck, the kill mat is what did a lot of the work, whereas this, I think the thicker foam would do more, just to like dampen the bass resonance. So with the 12 valve, you're just kind of trying to resonate or dampen the engine noise for the most part, I feel like. Anyways, I'm gonna put as much of this stuff down as I can. Do it on the doors. Just remember, I need to do those front right doors. And then I'll start applying all the thicker foam stuff and use up everything I got here. Got a few boxes, so hopefully I can get at least full coverage. We'll see. All right, just used up all the kill mat that I had. Try to put it on all the big flat panels. Honestly, I had about just enough to get decent coverage on all the big flat panels, so hopefully that'll be effective. I feel like I keep reading something about like 60% coverage. I don't know. I want like full coverage because I'm trying to not hear this resonance. But hopefully that's effective. I probably should have tossed one in here. But I got a whole lot of the thicker foam, so hopefully I can get like full coverage with that stuff. My knees are killing me. So I'm gonna take a little break, but I forgot how long this stuff takes to apply. It's not as quick as you would think, but we're getting there, making moves. All right, so with one of these packs here, I just did this whole section. Pretty much full coverage on this whole section before the side doors there, which means this will not get full coverage along this huge wall over here. So I'm gonna probably be a little short on how much I'd like to have, assuming I'm gonna use this stuff on the ceiling. So I'll probably use all this on the side, see where it gets me, and then start with this stuff on the ceiling, and then maybe if I have some left over, that'll cover the final section. And then I probably need to pull those panels off those side doors and put some inside like I did here. And that's gonna be my best attempt of getting rid of all the resonance in this van. But I feel like it's got to do something. It worked well in the 12 valve, so maybe this big old bass drum will calm down a little bit. I've come to the conclusion I'm probably not going to have time to put the muffler in, so hopefully this will do enough to where I don't go crazy on the next road trip. All right, pretty much got full coverage in here. I think this is as good as it's going to get. Clean this up and try and get all these panels back in. I broke a bunch of clips on the doors. So I don't know if I'm gonna put the panels back on the doors, but everything on the inside screws in. Unfortunately, I pretty much covered up all the holes. So hopefully I can find those, but they should just rip right in if I can at least get everything lined up. So yeah, as you can see, it's already starting to get pretty dark. There are storm clouds coming. But I think we're about finishing up, so that's cool. Just got everything put back in. That was a fun time lining all the existing holes up. But everything's in and bolted down. Won't really get to test it until I hook the trailer up and rip down the highway, so I won't know until I head out this weekend, but it's all in there behind the paneling now, so it's the best we can do. The next thing left is to do the floor. I didn't do any of the floor, but this thick rubber mat should be doing its thing. So for now, it's a finished job. Put the spare back in, tools loaded, my bed, and we'll be ready to hit the road. All right, everything's back in here. Echo, echo, echo. Yeah, that doesn't work. All right, going on a little test drive, and doesn't really sound any better. So the muffler is going back in tomorrow morning for sure. Maybe it's a little better. Not as much as I would have liked. Hopefully at least it makes it better for insulating the AC and the heat, especially when I'm trying to sleep. Maybe it'll dampen out some of the sounds outside, but it's not crazy noticeably quieter in here. I'm only going like 55. Sounds pretty much the same. I'm sure it's got to be a little better, but not enough, unfortunately. So muffler's going back in, then we should be rocking. So is what it is. All right, I'm cruising down the highway now, going a little faster. It's definitely a little bit better. You can tell it's not quite as bassy. I think the key is that I really should do the floor. Even though it has that rubber mat down, I think the floor really probably needs the thick kill mat down. I don't know if it needs like the thicker foam so much, but I think it really needs the kill mat, the real dense, heavy kind of tar-backed matting. And I think that would definitely do a lot of work. It helps so much in my second-gen Cummins truck, doing the floor and the back wall. So I think I just expected a bit more out of the van, but being such a big hollow area, I think it just it's hard to control that. But gonna throw the muffler in tomorrow, do a 4,000-ish mile round trip, and then I'll probably look into doing the floor.